The house always sounded different when everyone was trying not to say what they really meant. Cutlery against plates, a chair shifting too carefully, someone clearing their throat like it might erase the tension sitting in the middle of the table. He had learned that silence can be loud when it's shared by people who are disappointed in you. Still renting, his father said, not looking up at first, as if the question was casual, but it wasn't. It landed heavier than the food on the table. His mother didn't intervene. She rarely did when his father spoke like that. Instead, she gave a small nod toward his sister, as if the comparison needed no explanation. Your sister owns 3 homes, his father continued, now looking directly at him. And you're the embarrassment. That word didn't need to be repeated. It settled into the room anyway. No one moved to soften it. No one corrected it. Even his sister kept her eyes on her plate, the way people do when they've already accepted a role in a story they didn't write but benefit from. He didn't argue. That was the part that surprised them most. He simply reached for his phone, placed it on the table, and turned it face down. It looked like surrender. That's how they read it. His father exhaled through his nose, a quiet confirmation that this was what he expected. Avoidance, withdrawal, another quiet failure. Conversation tried to restart after that, awkwardly. Something about property prices, something about a neighbor's son who had finally become something. The words floated over him without landing, but something shifted anyway, not in them. In him, not anger, not shame, distance. As if he was watching the table from a few inches above it instead of sitting in it. The phone vibrated once. No one noticed, then again. His father, annoyed by the sound, reached out and flipped it over. It wasn't curiosity, it was dismissal. The kind of gesture that assumes nothing important lives in your child's private world. He looked and stopped. The change was not immediate drama. It was worse than that. It was stillness that didn't belong. His thumb hovered over the screen without touching it again, as if contact might confirm something he wasn't ready to accept. The color drained from his face in a way that made his expression unfamiliar, almost unassembled. His mother noticed first. "What is it?" she asked, already afraid of the answer she hadn't heard yet. He didn't respond. He turned the phone slightly, as if angle might change meaning. On the screen was a notification thread. Not social media, not messages from friends. Something formal, structured, final in tone, a compliance confirmation, an official acknowledgement of clearance. A flagged name, his son's name, attached to a contract reference number neither of them recognized. And beneath it, a line that carried more weight than any argument ever had in that house. Approved oversight appointment. International Procurement Advisory Division. His father read it again. Slowly, as if reading it incorrectly might undo it. What is this?" he finally said, but the question had no authority in it anymore. His son didn't reach for the phone, didn't explain immediately. He didn't need to. That was the shift none of them understood yet. Because this wasn't a boast, it wasn't a confession, it was documentation, a reality that had been operating outside their narrative of him for a long time. His sister leaned slightly forward now, eyes narrowing at the screen she couldn't fully see. For the first time all evening, she looked uncertain. His mother's hands tightened around her spoon. He finally spoke softly without urgency. "I didn't mention it because it wasn't finished. That was all. No defense, no revenge, no satisfaction. Just a fact placed carefully on the table next to everything else that had been assumed about him." His father set the phone down too quickly, as if it had become too heavy, but the damage or correction had already moved past the object itself. The room didn't return to normal. It couldn't. There was no argument to continue, no insult to reframe, no comparison left intact enough to hold. The rest of the meal went untouched, not because anyone decided to stop eating, because no one knew how to continue being the same person who had started it.